Good morning. It's Sue from Snake River Stamping. Welcome to my stamp room this morning. This is Monday, October. I still can't get used to October 13th. Um, we're halfway through the month and halfway through our joining special that we have going on. And I hope you've been considering that. Joining does not mean you have to be a demonstrator. Joining is just joining, Stampin' Up, part of a team, and you get discounts and you get special perks that are associated with that. So I hope that you've been thinking about that. Um, Fall in our area in the Pacific Northwest is just beautiful right now because the nights are very cool and the days are still reasonably nice in the lower to mid 70s. So I've been just really enjoying this weather. Although the leaves are starting to fall and that means they're piling up. But luckily we have the neighborhood kids that don't mind earning money raking up our piles and piles of leaves. Although we did have a few trees taken out this summer, so maybe it won't be as many piles. I am pre-recording this video because I have a doctor's appointment Monday morning. So the live stream thing will probably not be available, but all the other stuff will be. So I'm going to point the camera down, do some quick announcements, and we're going to get on to some artistic leaves today. So like I said, don't forget about our best starter kit ever. This is the best deal. I've heard from every demonstrator that they have never had this kind of deal before. And yesterday I was listening to someone who's been around for a long time, and they said, because we have two offers right now. We have $125 of product for only $35, and we have $189 of product for only $99. And you both of these kits, you get $90 of product, but percentage wise, this is actually the better deal percentage wise. Unless you're going to buy big ticket item, like maybe a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine or something like that, this is a little bit better deal as far as bang for your buck. You still get $90 of free product either way, but this one will cost you less and you still get that $90 worth of free product. So think about that when you're choosing which one of these offers you might like to take advantage of. Okay, they're both really great offers. I mean, they've never done two offers before, number one, and they have never offered this much free product. Remember, you get to choose everything that goes in your Stampin' Up kit. Oh, this one's done. The kit sale that finished last week. I hope you got in on that. You can still get your 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. It's $99, and I forgot, I did not do not disturb on my phone, and that, even though I never get phone calls, people only text me, but sure enough, probably somebody will call me, so I just have to figure that out real quick. Where is it? It used to be really easy on my old phone. Nope, there it is. Do not disturb. Okay. All right. Taken care of. The 12 Days of Advent crafting calendar thing. All these little boxes, they have stuff behind them, and I'm sure you've probably seen some demonstrators share this. And the things that are in this kit, there's lots of dies and stamps and paper and embellishments. There's just all sorts of things, and it's not Christmas orientated. It's just everyday cards, and I mean, there's a little bit of Christmas in there, but it's it's basically your everyday craft needs that you would want. This is $99, and it's got over $125 guaranteed, over $125 worth of product, and you can put it in your starter kit. Okay. There's a Traditions of Christmas crafting class that Stampin' Up! Is putting on with their professional crafters. It is October 23rd at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 1 p.m. Pacific Time, and 3 p.m. Central Time, and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, you do have to purchase the class. The number is 170073, and maybe you already have the Traditions of Christmas suite, which is 165877. That's what they're going to be using. And they give you a list of other supplies like adhesives and tools and things that you might need that you probably have in your, oh, I messed that up, didn't I? Turned it off. They tell you everything that you'll need, and then of course everything comes in the suite collection when you purchase that. But the class is a separate purchase from the suite collection for this class, and I'm signed up for this. I'm looking forward to it. Remember, Last Chance Products, it's under your specials tab. The everyday arches are in that list, as well as some other really great things. So don't forget to look under the Last Chance Products under your specials tab. And don't forget to look under your menu tab for online exclusive, because there's always new online exclusives, and there's some new ones coming next month in November. This is something that's available right now, the Elegant Pine Snowflake Suite, which I've shared before. And that's a really, really beautiful, beautiful suite of products. Don't forget to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. October 10th is past. Now it's October 13th, but you can still sign up for November, because you have all the way till November 10th to get the November kit, and the December kit is, and you can get all the way through December 10th. Now the November kit is wrapped in cheer, so that looks pretty Christmassy. The December kit is Watercolor in Bloom, and it looks something like that. I'm not sure what exactly it's going to be. And then there's some dies that go with it also, if you would like to. And it goes with all three kits, not just one of them. It'll match with all three kits. And then of course I'm running my specials for this month. At $20 you get Stampin' Rewards, and at $40 you start earning my card kits, and I'm giving you 4 cards. You make 2 of each. I've got a tremendous amount of sticky notes on my cards. So you get 2 of the fall cards, and you get 2 of the Christmas cards in my card kit. So you get 4 cards altogether, 2 and 2. And they come looking like something like this. And you have to have your own stamps, your own ink to do something with this. But this one is really easy because I just use daubers and different colors of ink. And I have a little video to go with it, and some directions. But it comes something like this. You'll get paper, cardstock, you'll get the tree, you'll get the stuff for the banners, you'll get some gems. For this one, you get a lot of stuff on this one, because it comes with all the cardstock, of course, pre-embossed. You get all of this stuff cut for you, as well as the banner, and you just have your own stamps and your own ink to go with that. And so that's really fun, to have something like that come in the mail for you. Okay, so that's what you get at $40. $50 you get the card kits I just mentioned, a PDF for a new fall card featuring Autumn 12. Actually, I think I should have marked this out last time. I think it's a Christmas card. I'm pretty darn sure. It is not a fall card. I think it's a Christmas card. if I'm not mistaken, and you get your Stampin' Rewards. $75, you get the card kits, the PDF, and now you get some gems, and I have some new gems to send to you, and you get your Stampin' Rewards. Remember, all qualifying orders are before tax and shipping or any coupons or redeemed Stampin' Rewards that you might have. Okay, so through that really fast. So today we are going to make a card. This is the one I advertise, and I have some other ones to show you, some really different ones, all using this same fold. It's called a column fold. You see the column right here? And so it folds flat to go in an envelope, but when the recipient opens it up, it stands for display, and it has this column in it. And it's really nice, and you can write, I wrote secret things, of course, on the back, and you can write on the back. You can put a piece of paper and write on the back and do anything that you would like to it. You can, and some of them I put a little piece in the inside. This one uses the Gathering Together DSP, which I'm going to use today, but I'm going to use the DSP that has a white background, and this one happened to have a basic beige background. And the leaf pattern I'm going to use is from Artistic Leaves, which is really fun because you can stamp it with one color, but I stamped it with more than one color by using my sponge daubers, which I think I forgot to pick up. Yep. I have my little sponge daubers that I use. I just have mine in a little case, and I just have them marked with general colors like my blues and my greens and things like that. So I'm going to use some sponge daubers today. And I think I'm going to do some embossing today with the Gathering Leaves embossing folder, this kind of embossing. And this one is actually out of stock right now, but I'm sure it's going to come back because it's very, very popular. It has all these little leaves on it, and it's really fun to do. We're also going to be using the branching out dies, which I've shown before, and these are the stackable dies, and they nest. There's 6 dies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, and I count from the outside in. So number 1 is the largest. Number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, and 6. 6 is the smallest in my branching out dies. So we're going to use some of these dies today, and we'll probably use some sentiments from Gathering Moments today, I think, and maybe a leaf. We'll see on that one. So now this is, it looks complicated to begin with, but it's not that complicated. I'm going to lay this right here so you can kind of see it. And I'm going to start out with basic white today. And what you want to do is, I'm always cramped for room on here, is you want to take an entire piece of cardstock, and I'm going to start with white because the paper I chose has a white background. That's why I chose white today. Now I could have chosen any of these other colors and it would have looked just fine, but I did choose white to start with today. And this was in the same Gathering Together designer series paper that this one came out of. Okay, this one just happened to have a beige background. So you're going to want to cut it. You're going to have to extend your arm, because this will be 11 inches long, and on the 11-inch side you're going to want to go to 9 3/4 and cut at 9 3/4. Okay, so you'll cut there at 9 3/4, and then you'll turn it a quarter of a turn, and you'll cut at 5 1/2 and make your other cut 5 1/2, and you'll have a piece like this. Then you can put your arm in, because now you're going to be scoring, and you just lift up your trimmer, and the first score that you make is 1 3/4. So you go to 1 3/4, park your dark so you don't accidentally cut it. I've done that many a time. And you score at 1 3/4. I do have these typed for you. If you want them at the end, I'll do that. 2 3/4, and make sure it's all squared up at the top, at the bottom, so you're getting your score lines really straight. 4 1/2 and 5 1/2. Okay. Now, I know these scores are like impossible to see, so I made one, and this isn't going to turn into a card. This is just for demonstration purposes. So when you score yours, you'll be able to see the scores. I can see the scores, but I'm pretty sure you can't see. I can't even see them when I do this bending thing. But this is what it looks like, okay? And this is where I did 1 3/4, 2 3/4, 4 1/2, and 5 1/2. So this last panel is 5 1/2. And I take my first piece of DSP, which is 2 3/4 across and 5 1/4 down, and I'm going to put it on what I call panel 1. Now it's important because we're going to be flipping this over. This is the front of the card, and this largest section right now, oops, no, I hope I didn't turn the mic off. Okay, the mic looks like it's still on. Ugh, pressing buttons accidentally. Okay, so it's going to look like this. So the scores were 1 3/4, 2 3/4, 4 1/2, 5 1/2. And so this big panel is the front, panel 1. And your DSP is going to go right here. It's not going to cover up the entire panel, but that's okay because we're making this column card. But this is the front of the card. Now, here's the trick. Front of the card. Now we're going to flip to the back of the card, and we want to flip it over this way so that now this largest panel is over here on the left. Before, our largest panel was on the right, and I'm flipping it so that our largest panel is on the left. Okay, there's going to be no DSP on this large panel now. Now there is on the other side, but not on this side, on the back. So then we still have these score marks, and then we have panel 1 with no DSP on the back, panel 2, panel 3, panel 4, panel 5. So panel 1 and panel 5 have no DSP. Alrighty. But panel 2, 3, and 4 do have some DSP. I made mine so that my panel 2 and 4, which are the same size, they're an inch, they have 3/4 by 5 1/4 for panel 2 and panel 4, which are the same. Okay. You're going to glue the DSP on here. Now this is on the back, but remember we're going to be folding this card, and it's going to turn out so that it's on the front. I got to change this. Pressing the wrong thing. Gotta move this over here. Okay, I think I got it. No, I don't. No, I do not want to do that. I want this. I'm sorry. I've been sick, so I got so many apologies. Anyway, okay, so these two panels need to be right here on panel 2 and panel 4. And then we have a larger piece of DSP, different, if you want. I mean, you can make them all the same if you want, but I made this one different. This is on my panel 3 in the middle, and this is 1.5 by 5.25. So they're all 5.25 inches long. It's just they're different widths. These are 3/4 of an inch in width, and this is 1.5 inch in the width. So now that you have seen the pattern, now I'm going to start gluing things together for real on my real card. So don't forget, we're going to start on the front, and the biggest panel is going to be on the right. And remember, I can see those, but you probably can't. So my biggest panel here is on the right. Man, it's even hard for me to see those. And I am going to adhere my DSP. That is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to put some little, I give my, I'm using some Stampin' Seal, and I give it a little twist at the end to break those fibers. And it doesn't cover up the whole panel, and that's okay, because this is going to be folding over it, and it's going to cover up a small portion of this panel. Okay, that's my front. So it's important to turn it over like that and get my largest panel on the left now. It's over here, and I can see the panels, sort of. They're not easy to see. So I'm going to look for my big one, because that one is actually the one I want to put down first. Okay. And I'm putting it in between the score lines. And I see that I cut this wrong because I got my leaves going sideways. Wasn't paying attention to that. They should be going up and down. And then I put these two on the other. Man, these are hard to see on white. And there will be nothing on the last panel because it is going to be full. Oh dear, it's not even at all. Okay. When you do this, you can lift it up. I'm going to use my heat tool. I'm going to do it on the back. I'm going to heat that glue up. Hopefully that will allow me to pull this up. So I'm heating that glue up because I pressed it down. So I need to put a little more glue on there, a little more Stampin' Seal. Okay. And get that more in line. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I need my bone folder because now I'm going to be creasing all of my score lines. And that will make it a little bit easier to see. And as I said, this will fit in a standard A2 envelope. And this is what creates our column. I should mention that I saw this fold on Deborah Harrison's page. She did, I think she was doing a Christmas card or something else that she was doing. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on the back again. Remember, blank, blank. And then this is gonna be the front. So I'm gonna fold this down so it creates my column like that. Okay. And the easiest way to do it is with glue or with seal, whatever you would like to use, is go down both the edges. And across the top and the bottom a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to fold this so that I want this empty panel 5, I want this to sit here. So I'm going to fold this and just press it down and fold it like that. Give it a really good press. And then the box should just pop up like that. Okay. So basically our card base is finished. It has a little DSP on both the edges. It doesn't have anything on the back because we might write on the back. We could put something on the back. If I'm gonna, I wouldn't stamp on it because now it's been folded and it's got lumps in it. So I would cut a separate piece. I have a separate piece cut for this. All right. So what I have inside my envelope is I have, I think this is number 3 in the branching out, and that's for the back of this. If I want to put something on there. Now I could put a bigger one on there. A bigger one would certainly fit. You can see that it's smaller. It depends on how much you like to write. So I might stamp on that one. And I have this one for the front. Now on this one I used number 3, but I didn't put a back on it. Number 3 is about as large as you want to go for your card, for the size and the scale that it has. So I cut a number 3 and then I cut a number 4 because I'm going to glue my number 4 on here and have a double mat to go on my card like this. But before I go matting things wildly, I am going to get out my stamp. And this stamp is a 2-step stamp, which is why it works so well. So you stamp this one first, and this holy one you stamp second. So this one, I am going to get out my little sponge daubers, and I am going to get, that's going to be Cajun Craze. This is some green. This looks like some yellow. Some more green. Rhodolite. What color? Yeah, that's brown. Okay, I'm going to start with just putting some brown, some pecan pie on this one. Good layer of pecan pie. And I am going to grab a little yellow and green, crushed curry. I'm going to use crushed curry. And I'm going to use, set this to the side so minimize the damage there. Okay, so that was pecan pie I started with, because I want my leaf to have a little dimension. So now I'm going to put some crushed curry in here. And then I'm going to do a little green. Maybe that wasn't. Here's green. And I'm going to do a little green in there. Okay. So that, now this is smaller than my other one, so my whole leaf is going to go off the edge just a little bit. That's okay. I don't mind stuff going off the edge. But it's got several colors in it. So you can see the pecan pie, you can see the green, you can see a little bit of the yellow. And now I'm going to add my my Cajun craze, and I'm going to use that with my other stamp that's kind of a partial stamp. And I'm going to use that one, put these away. That will be on scarlet. Let me wipe this off. So now I'm going to put quite a bit of Cajun craze on this one, again with my dauber. And this only fits one way. You'll notice when you get this stamp. Oh, I should have been using this whole time. Because these are photopolymer, I should be using my Stampin' Pierce mat. I get a much better impression. So these two little leaves down here kind of go on either side of the stem, and you can match up the other leaves. And we're going to add some Cajun craze to this. And now you can see how much more beautiful that fall leaf looks. I think it looks really great. Okay. So this is called Artistic Leaves. And now I'm going to stamp a greeting, because I had a greeting out here. There it is. I am going to stamp Thankful for You in Early Espresso. And on the inside, or on the back, I'm going to put Your friendship means the world to me. And I have a little bit of an edge. So I'm wondering where I put, there's some magic Q-tips. Wipe those off. Okay. I'm going to put thankful for you up here. Caught a little bit of an edge. I'll have to put a gem or something on there. Okay. Now, after you stamp, you can emboss. You can't do it before you stamp, but you can after you stamp. And embossing a lot of times looks great. So I am paying attention this time that my leaves are going up and down. And I'm just going to put this in my embossing folder and try to keep it straight. The edges straight with the leaves are all lined up. And to use this 3D embossing folder, I will be doing it on the side table. I need platform number 1. I need my embossing folder with my piece inside of it. And I need gray plate number 4 on top of that. Okay. So that's what I need for 3D embossing. And I'm doing this over here so the table doesn't shake unmercifully. But this will add a little interest to our can you see the embossing on there? So the leaf, the whole paper is embossed, and you can in person you can see it. I think you can see it a little bit on camera. But that leaf is just gorgeous, and putting those different colors on it, I think makes it look really special. So since I embossed it, I kind of like to use glue on embossing because it gets into those little crevices better and really sticks. So I'm just going to use some glue on that. And we'll center this on the early espresso. And in my measurements, I'm going to show you. I told you what to cut to get number 3 and number 4 on there. Now this is going to go right here. Now you want to close it. You don't want to put it way over here so that it's outside the card and then it won't fit in your envelope. You want to put it so that it stays within the confines of your card so it will fit in your envelope. So as you turn it over, you're mindful that the dimensionals you're going to put on are going to be on this side. So if I'm flipping it this way, then my dimensionals need to go over here on this side. Things are falling, so it must mean it's a good crafting day. If things don't fall, then, you know, it doesn't mean everything's going according to plan. So I put those over there. And I close my card so I can kind of line this up and make sure it doesn't go outside of that, that it's straight, top to bottom, side to side, that it's straight. Isn't that cute? Now you could add, if you wanted to, you could add, I wouldn't use this size because it's too big, but you could add a smaller one of these branching out dies to go under here if you wanted something under there. And in fact, I have a couple examples like that. But I want to put this on the back, but I do want to cover up that little boo-boo that we have. And so I've got these streaked dots. So I'll put a few streaked dots on the front. I'll put one over my boo-boo. And remember, slide them off. put one here. And what size do I have? And I'll put one over here. Okay. So I'll just put my streak dots in there like that. Now I might have, if I wouldn't have had the boo-boo, I might have put some streak dots over here, lined them up or something. But I did want to cover that up. So, such is life. And as a card maker, you know, we're not perfect. Now on this other card, I do want to stamp another greeting. Your friendship means the world to me. I want to stamp that. And I'm still going to use Early Espresso to be consistent. I don't really need that. Maybe that's my problem. Okay. Okay, perfect. Whew. Friendship means the world to me. And then I have these little splotches. I can do some little splotches around it. I could do a leaf around it. I think a leaf would take up too much room, just in case I want to write some more. I think I'm going to do little splotches, but I'm going to stamp off my splotches. Like that. So I'm going to do that. And that I will just use some Seal Plus. I almost always use that when I am going to write on something. Now, I would definitely write on this before I stick it on here, because keeping in mind the other side of that card is now pretty bumpy. And sometimes what I do to keep things together, in fact I should have done it this time just to show you, is I'll just put one little dab of this on this and stick it on, because then it's really easy to pull it off and write on it and then stick it back on for good. Okay. So that is our card today, our column card. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful fall card. Now this particular fold, I love to look for folds that can do many things. Okay. And this fold is one of those folds. It can do many things. And I made a few other cards to show you. And this is using Autumn Toile, and the stamp is Amber Autumn Acorns and Gathering Together. So I made this card, column card. And this is Autumn Toile. All this DSP is Autumn Toile, but these acorns were from Amber Autumn. And this Gather was from Gathering Moments. Okay, so that's another one. And then I made same fold. I turned it into a Christmas card. And I'm still using that same branching out dies. I didn't stamp anything on these, but I did emboss it with those circles in circles embossing folder, and I stuck one of the Traditions of Christmas. I stuck that on the front. I did put a smaller little piece in here. If you're just a kind of person that likes to write, you know, Dear Aunt Jane, you know, love Sarah, you know, whatever. You don't have to write a lot. You can stamp up a lot of stuff and put some snowflakes on there, or you can put a bigger piece on the back of here. Okay, so that's a Christmas card using the traditions of Christmas, which I love. So these are my fall cards. You can make a happy birthday card. I went back, and this is on the last chance list. This everyday happiness, and the dies are Charming Day that I used on this one because I love this Charming Day die. This one in particular cuts out. This is one piece. I did that double matte effect with this one, you know, with the Lost Lagoon, because that's in all the pieces of the DSP from Everyday Happiness, which I always did like that. And I did make a smaller piece to go inside. It's the same size as this one, so it must be number 4, because this is 3 and 4. So this must be die number 3. So it's the same size as this outside die, and it fits in there very nicely. When it comes out of the envelope, they don't really see it. And then they open it up, and this stamp came from the same Charming Day set that this die came from. And all I did was turn over, I think it was this paper, or maybe it was this one, I can't remember. I turned over one of these papers, and it had a very ombre effect of the Lost Lagoon, and it just made a beautiful, beautiful flower image to go on the front of that for my focal point. I thought that was really neat. And then the last one I made, my niece is having a baby, and so I wanted to make her a card, and I used this fold, and this set is in the last chance. Storybook Friends, I used a circle punch and Timeless Plaid and Storybook Moments paper. So the dies were Storybook Friends, Timeless Plaid, and Storybook Moments for this. And I put some blue gems on there. Sweet Baby, I got that from one of my those sentiment sets where you can punch out Merry Christmas and all sorts of things. Anyway, Sweet Baby was one of them. And so I just added that. That was just so nice. Perfectly stamped, no mistakes. And I popped both of these up on dimensionals. I made the double matte again with 3 and 4. I had this already cut and taped together that was in my folder with the right colors because I was using boho blue. And I put another little bunny in there, and it just turned out so cute. This paper is so adorable. Anyway, on the last chance list, you guys, I can't believe it. So anyway, so those are all of the cards that I use to make my column cards this week. I hope you love this fold. Just don't forget to turn it over. Put your front sheet on in the largest section on the right and flip it over so that largest section is now on the left, and then fill in the rest of the spaces. Okay, so these are your measurements for these cards, for these column cards. So I use basic white today, so it's 9 3/4 by 5 1/2, scored at 1 3/4, 2 3/4, 4 1/2, and 5 1/2. And of course that would be on the long side. Then your branching out dies, you want 2 number 4s. It's approximately 3 inches by 4 1/4 to get a branching die number 4. Okay, and you're counting from the largest to the smallest. All right. Then the early espresso die that I used to make mine today, this is the one we made today. Then the early espresso die was die number 3. Okay. and it was 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. You cut one of those, you cut 2 of these so that you'll have something for the back, unless you want to make this even bigger. I mean, you can fit the number 1 die on the back. It will fit on the back if you want that, or just a piece, just cut a piece of paper, you know, 4 by 5 1/4, and you can put a whole piece of paper on there like that. Okay. So early espresso, that was for my mat. And then I used different patterns out of the same DSP so that they all went together and they all matched. So I started with my leaves, and that was 1 1/2 by 5 1/4, and that one on the front of the card. I flipped the card over, I left this side blank. Remember, this is laying flat. So on the back of the card, I cut two patterns, and that's for this end and this end. Those are the same. Okay, that's what I did. You can do them all the same if you want. I did these two the same and this one different. I cut 2 of those at 3/4 by 5 1/4, and then this piece was a little bit wider that goes right here in front, and that's 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. So that's the third pattern. So this was pattern 1, these were pattern 2 on the sides, and this was pattern 3 on the front, where my leaves are going the wrong way because I wasn't paying attention to that. All right, and then I used sponge daubers to stamp my artistic leaf. It's a two-step stamp. And I left that Cajun Craze for the end because I thought adding that fire to the leaf, you know how they are, and after autumn really gets rolling, you know, they turn yellow, they're still a little bit green, you know, they've got the other colors in them, but the Cajun Craze color, that red color, is the last color that usually comes in when a leaf is turning. You can use gold flower accents, streak dots, Cajun Craze gold, Cajun Craze and gold dots. I just grabbed my streak dots and put them on there. Like I said, I was covering up a boo-boo, so you can see, like here, I put some dots just going straight up and down. I didn't put dots on this one because I thought it had enough. You could put some pearls on here actually, or on here. You could put some pearls. White pearls would look really good against this red. You know, I put some streak dots over here, again in a little row. And I don't think I put any on this one. Nope. So anyway, those are all of our cards for this week. Next week, I try to press the right buttons. Ha! Got it. Next week, I think we're doing a concertina card, and we'll make one together, and I'll have, again, some extras, you know, to show you how you can adapt the fold to be what you, if you need birthday cards, if you need fall cards, if you need Christmas cards, whatever you need. You know, I try to get my my folds so that they're adaptable to whatever you need. So I hope you got a screenshot when I had my paper down. You can always rewind the video and get a screenshot, or stop the video and write it down, whatever you need to do. But it was a pleasure spending some time with you today, and I hope you will join me again next Monday for our concertina card. Bye.